it's another glorious weekend. Headed down to the boat to do more boat work, hoping and praying that we actually may get to start the engine this weekend. And we got up this morning and realized we forgot the camera bag. It's kind of hard to have a YouTube channel and to take video for that channel without your cameras. So here I am. I drove back home. It's about an hour 15 back home. Left Eric on the boat to do some small projects. Picked up the camera gear. Making another coffee for the road. Left my glasses in the truck. Life is so much fun. We're enjoying it. It's always an adventure. Welcome to our channel. We are Debbie and Eric, and together we are enjoying life's adventures. We currently work full-time, looking forward to an early retirement. In the meantime, we make sure to take the time to play, whether that is staying close by on our boat or taking mini vacations in the travel trailer. So come along with us as we enjoy life's adventures. Well, honey, I made it back with the camera. So what have you been doing since I've been gone? I saw that you raised...
Sleeping.
Yeah. I saw you raise the Jolly Roger.
Raised the Jolly Roger. And I mounted the TV. Now mounted on the wall. I can now lift up my nav station with it pushed up there.
Well, when you don't have all the other stuff in there.
When I don't have all the other stuff on. So I got little Velcro ties here, by the way, on it. What's really cool is this is an RV mount. So it's mounted to the wall. It's not going to go anywhere. I can get underway with it like this. There's a little thing down here that you
Pull
just
tab.
pull, and that unlocks the TV from the wall.
Oh.
And now I can take the TV and I can move it, and I can use it as part of, I can hook up my computer, be able to use it with my computer. We should be able to open this up and expand it so you can see from either setting. So should be pretty good. And then when we want to get underway, all we have to do is take it and push it back on there, and now it locks in. You can run a NEMA 2000 Ethernet cable to it, because we have Ethernet cables going to the chart plotter and stuff right now, so we can hook into this TV through an HDMI in through the laptop, and I should be able to put on Navionics or something on it, windy applications, certain things. We can use the computer to throw up there almost anything that we want. I did your stove.
It's my stove?
Yeah, this side's
My
mine.
stove.
This side's yours.
You're funny.
So I glued those pieces on. And the reason why I glued them instead of screwed them, in case we ever want to take them off, I can just kind of bang them out of here and bust out the glue and then scrape off the glue.
So that's going to keep that extra little counter thing you built from falling in there every time
so
we
if you
accidentally lean on it.
Yeah, and then the Velcro in the back, and we might put some Velcro up here, should hold it in place when we're underway. We wouldn't have to take it off and put it back here. The only time that you'll take it off and put it back here is when you're cooking. So,
Okay.
now the next thing I'm doing is mounting the coolant overflow tank. So what I was finding out is I didn't know where to mount this, whether it needed to be a higher, lower, if I should be filling from here. With our engine, the Perkins diesel, we won't be filling from the reservoir. We will be filling right directly into above where the heat exchanger is. So
That's going to take the place of that Burner's bottle?
yeah, so we're going to get rid of that Verner's bottle. So I'm going to mount it right about there. And that way, this tube is almost level with the radiator cap. So the radiator overflows, the pressure builds up on the radiator, comes up, this cap opens and comes out this tube. So it'll overflow into this tube. Right now he's got this tube coming down and it goes into this Verner's bottle right there. So instead of going into the Verner's bottle, I'm going to go from that tube to the bottom of this overflow. I'm going to mount that here so it'll come up into the overflow, and then when it cools it should go back down. So I should know exactly how much came out. So we'll mount that right there.
We put a hold on finishing the reservoir. Actually had to go
you could actually do that.
to the stores, multiple stores, to go get tubing for that, for this, just a bunch of tubing.
Tubing's for the water pump and the heat exchanger.
Water pump and the heat exchanger.
So the water pump is what we replaced with the impeller right there. That's the water pump.
Yep.
This is the heat exchanger. So the radiator cools a whole bunch of pipes that run through here. So the hot water gets pumped from the sea up through here into here, and then it goes through the heat exchanger and cools the coils that are in here with radiator fluid. That radiator fluid is being pumped through the engine.
Right now you are taking off the rest of the old fuel pump.
Yep. Taking off the fuel pump again.
Oh, I didn't know you put it back on.
Yeah, we
So
took it off the other day
that's
to
right.
get to the gaskets. So now I'm taking it off again.
Because we bought a new one.
Hopefully it was the fuel pump that was causing our issue. Guess we're gonna find
What you
out.
said you're going to put a bucket on the other end,
Yeah, the other side.
not attach it to
Not attach it to the engine.
the engine. Okay.
I want to see
And then
if
it
gas diesel flows.
right, if the gas flows or if we have a stoppage in the
Intake tube
from
for the
the
diesel. From the fuel.
diesel tank.
Yep.
Alright, we're gonna see if we're getting fuel.
Alright, so what I got is the fuel pump hooked up. It goes up here to the ray core. The ray core goes to the back to the switch here to select which tank you're using. So I got it on starboard. And then that goes to the starboard tank, which is on. So we're going to try to pump some diesel from there. And we got jumper cables hooked to the battery to just start the pump. There we go. There you go. You got fuel in the bowl too.
Got fuel in the bowl.
So that's a good sign. Woohoo!
Anybody for a cold beverage?
I would say that's a win.
Kind of makes me want to have a beer.
Yeah, that diesel looks a little bad from the lines. There's some gunk floating around in the bowl. I don't know if you can see that. But the bowl is filled up with seafoam right now. And now it's combining seafoam and diesel. But I see some particles. It might be from the lines.
Yeah, what was left in the line?
Let's hope. Alright, so now I can hook this up. This pump is a success. You go have your beer.
Thank you.
Dispose of that properly.
One more piece of the puzzle.
Alright, we gotta turn it
Mounted.
on. We're gonna turn on the panel up there. Alright. Now we should be able to pump up. Now we're gonna bleed the line. So that should be working. So now we gotta find the first bleed point. That's on top of the filter. But before we do that, we're gonna take that filter off, change the fuel filter. That's our next job.
Okay. We are still trying to bleed the fuel lines to get the air out. What has it been? About 400 hours later?
Yeah, like forever.
Forever. All right, we're just gonna kind of do a quick
I don't think I'm getting anything from the actual fuel pump on the engine up to the fuel filter. So, according to the book, it says is the cam may be in the locked position or something for the fuel filter. So I'm just going to give it a real quick bit. Ready?
No. That did not sound good.
Sounded like water came out of the engine.
Sounded like there was a lot of fluid that came out of somewhere.
That's all I'm doing.
Yep, it was a bunch of water. Alright, I gotta go get towels.
The good news is the water pump worked. Where did it come from? Water pump right from here?
Yeah, probably. Looking at the water just shot
Smells
everywhere.
like radiator fluid. Should be just water. That should be raw water. It smells like radiator fluid though. That's not green, is it? Oh, white light helps.
No, it's not green.
Alright, yeah, because that's the water pump for circulating the engine. This is the raw water intake. This should be just water that came out. I think I found out where our major problem was. We've been stuck for hours trying to bleed this system. Found out that the line... Okay, so I got my ray core way back there. The ray core, I have a low pressure pump that pumps it from the ray core over here to a manual this is a Perkins 4018. This goes into here, which has your manual pump that you can pump on up and down. And I wasn't receiving fuel from the fuel tank, and so I had to pull off the bleed valve, and it wasn't coming out of the bleed valve, and I had filled up the filter right here with seafoam, and all the seafoam was gone, but the when I took off the canister to try to find out if there was fuel coming from this line, because this line comes from the lift pump over here to the fuel filter, and I was going to see when I turn on the electric low pressure pump if fuel came out of here, and nothing was coming out of here. So that meant from the electrical fuel pump to the manual fuel pump wasn't supplying fuel to the filter. So when I pulled off the filter, it was completely empty. So I pulled the hose off of here, and I don't know if you can see this, but right inside here in this fitting there is a little ball. It's like a backflow preventer or a ball valve to keep debris out. And when I turned on an electrical pump, nothing was coming out of there. I took this little tiny drill bit and I pushed it in there on that ball a couple times, and then turned on the pump, and lo and behold, fuel started coming out of that. So I think I had a clog right there at that little tiny ball on that fuel line. Alright, so we're going to turn on the pump now. Hopefully we see air bubbles come out of here and some fuel come out of there. Go ahead. Oh, I hear air. Yep. It's working. Alright, let me close that off. Okay, shut it off. I think I just bled that. Woohoo! Seems like it's been forever. How long did that take?
What is it, like 1 in the morning?
Is it seriously 1 in the morning? Oh my god. Everywhere to find out that it was just that little clogged ball.
1:21.
1:21 in the morning. All right, I am gonna bleed this through, and then hopefully tomorrow we can start the boat. I'll have to do the water system tomorrow, but
12 hours, honey.
yeah, only 12 hours. All right, let's go around the other side. I gotta bleed over by the governor now. So now this is bled. These come out down here and come around. The pipes come around and go over there to the governor. So we're gonna go bleed the governor. And then we'll have to bleed the injectors, which are right up here. These are the injectors. So those will be the last points that we bleed in the engine. And then we can try to crank over the engine. Fingers crossed.
Morning, honey.
Morning.
So, how did our morning start? Our morning started with
What else? Boat project.
boat projects. Well, the bilge stopped working. The bilge pump, right?
Well, it was
It was
working.
working, but not pumping.
It was straining to push anything out. There was a plugged up bilge pump. So I had to figure out where the plug was. And it looks like it was in the backflow preventer, keeping the backflow from pushing out or something.
And as you're looking for it, you touched a hose and pow, water everywhere.
There's a copper pipe over there where the bilge pumps out to. And of course that sat in diesel water so long, the pipe that was going from the bilge pump to that copper pipe popped off. Shot water everywhere when I tried to move it.
Debbie's back up to West Marine to get that, and then we decided to buy new hoses for other stuff too.
We bought 2 new sea strainers, which are really nice. So we got this one for the air. Well, that one's for the engine, and this one's for the AC. So this one, see how this has to go in and on there, and then down to get locked on. I have to do the same thing with that, but to get the strainer in, the box is just a little bit too big, and I can't put it in there with the battery in there. So I got to take the whole battery out to get the sea strainer in. Once that's in, that should be good.
Yeah, we got them hooked up. Or attached. Not hooked up, but attached.
Good enough.
It's time to get all the piping pieces.
Got to be a plumber, an electrician, sailmaker, engine mechanic. What else? Cook. Got to be everything on a boat.
Yep. You the man, honey.
Especially if you're going to go sailing offshore. You better figure out how to compromise with make MacGyver things. What you got.
Of course, you can't find any elbows at West Marine or the hardware stores. Nobody has the right size elbow. In this case, we're just going to close that off. That's the one for the air conditioning. This is not needed for us to start the engine. So we're just going to shut off the water supply to it.
There's nothing. Okay, hopefully that builds up some pressure. I'm going. Started once. Are we looking at the fucking water? I'm gonna check and see if it's going over. Success! Success! Success!
Are you happy, honey?
I'm extremely happy. Extremely happy. Are you?
Yes, I'm beyond words. I'm beyond words. Thank you. That was awfully close.
We can leave now.
I'm beyond words. We gotta.
Yeah,
I
the means
did
of leaving.
add something on the
Yeah.
to-do list.
What?
Big letters on what you must have to go north.
My wife?
Start engine. We can check that off today.
It's done. No, it's not done. We drained the coolant. We did the coolant. We just got to do the oil now and the transmission fluid. Let's get the rest of the boat work done to move north and cross off our list. We're ready to go.
Yep.
Which shouldn't be very long. A couple more weekends, I think. I
All
said
right.
by the end of this month.
Yeah.
What's today?
Today is the 14th.
I got 2 more weekends, pretty much, to do this.
Yep.
And then we want to sail north. So end of June.
End of June. Let's clean up this mess. And I guess we have to head home.
It's quite a mess around the boat.
And head home to our other jobs.
Yep. We got to do work to pay the bills.
Hey, honey. It's that time of the weekend. We get to check off what we've accomplished.
You ready?
I am ready.
We changed the fuel filters. That's done. Change coolant. Done. Mount TV. We did. Done. Fix countertop. Done.
Woohoo!
Add flag halyard. We did that. Fix bilge pump. We did that. Start engine. Start your engine. Done. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. All right. So we are really close.
Really close.
Really close. Spreader lights are going to be a big one. Get up there and get that done. But yeah, get the spreader lights done. Transmission shouldn't be that hard to do. Install the sails. That might be a little tricky because we've never installed the sails on this boat before. So,
Right.
yeah.
Put her in the water. We
don't
should
have
add
to
that
fix
to the
the
list.
anchor light.
We should add that to the list. A must-have is to actually put it in the water.
Put in water. I should say just add water.
Just add water.
All right.
All
On that
right.
note, we got to go home. Tomorrow's Monday, and then we'll be back next weekend, finish up some projects.
I'll see you then.